Hi, in this lesson we will be going through the installation steps of Moodle through the use of the browser. So we're just finalizing the installation of Moodle. The first step is of course to enter the IP address for the server. My IP address is the local host, which is 127.0.0.1. But yours is probably something different, and I showed you in the last lesson how you can find out what your IP address is. But now we can start doing the finalization. The first step is to choose the language. I'm going to use this set up an international server, so I'll choose an English version. And the English is already chosen, so the only thing I have to do is to press next. And here is just to confirm the path. And we have already created the path, except as you can see we have the Moodle directory and the data directory. And our data directory is not here. It is directly behind or directly after VAR. So I'll just remove this and press next. And now it's asking us the database driver. And we're just going to use MySQL since we've installed MySQL. So the only thing needed here is to press next. Now it is setting up the database information. Database host, that's the computer where the MySQL is set up. And since we did set up MySQL on the same computer as we set up our web server, it's going to be localhost. But if you did the setup of MySQL on a different computer, you would have to put in the IP address of that computer. But otherwise, it's just going to be localhost. And then the database name that you chose, and mine was Moodle database. I recommend setting up something different because you shouldn't set up a database name something that people can just guess out of the blue. And database user, and mine was Moodle user. Again, do not use Moodle user. It's too easy for people to remember. Next is the password, and for me it's way too easy. And then it's table prefix. A prefix is inside the database will create lots of tables. And the name of every table will have a prefix before the name of the table. MDL is a common name, it's the default name for Moodle. But we do not want people to guess what we are using. So it makes it harder for them to break into our system. So I choose something totally different here. You'll use whatever. And the database port, we do not have to put anything here, and we do not have to put anything in the Unix socket. Because this is only if we made changes to what's default. And we didn't make any changes during the database setup which should change the default setting. So now we press next. Installation, okay, everything's ready. So now it's just asking me if I agree with everything here, and of course we agree with everything. We've read the conditions and we've understood them. So it's continue. And now it's going through checking if doing a server check to see if we've set everything up correctly. And if you followed the instructions exactly, you should have OK everywhere. And we have OK absolutely everywhere. And now I press continue. Okay, now that's done. And we see if everything has, there's a success to everything. Everything just went perfectly. We can just press continue again. And now it's asking us for the basic information to be able to access Moodle from the backend. So you have to choose a username and a password. Here we have a username, and normally they'll ask for a pretty difficult password. So it has to be 8 characters, it has to have at least 1 digit, and at least 1 lowercase letter and 1 uppercase, and at least 1 non-alphanumeric character like the @ sign or ampersand. So I'm just going to type in a password, and my first name is admin, of course, and my email address, and then you can fill out these later if you want to, but you have to fill out those who are required fields. And then I press update profile, and now we have a full site name, so Moodle Creator Tutorial, and a short name, Moodle Creator. Of course you put in whatever you want, and here it's asking if you want to have a self-registration enabled. You can have an email-based self-registration, or you can just do like me, and I do not use self-registration, so I can press Save Changes. And that's it, we're done.